Extraordinary outcomes rarely come from following the crowd. If you want to achieve something truly remarkable in business, you need to think differently, act boldly, and position yourself where opportunity is amassing. That means learning to see challenges not as obstacles, but as signals pointing toward possibilities others overlook. It's about rewiring your perspective and approach so that every decision, every move, and every risk compounds toward meaningful impact. Most people focus on working harder or improving what already exists. But the real winners don't just react to the world. They anticipate it, shape it, and surround themselves with the right people to execute at a level most can't imagine. Vision alone isn't enough. You need insight to spot trends that can accelerate success, a team capable of turning complex ideas into action, and the discipline to execute at pace. Ambition without strategy is just energy. Strategy without execution is just a plan. Today, you'll learn how to think differently, get the major trend right, obsess over talent, and execute high-quality mergers and acquisitions without imploding. You'll discover practical ways to rewire your mindset to see opportunity in challenges, align with trends that amplify results, build a team that multiplies impact, and scale strategically with speed and precision. So, ready to start on the path to making a few billion? Then let's get going. Sometimes the biggest breakthroughs start with a simple but uncomfortable shift, changing the way you approach thinking. Billion-dollar results don't come from doing more of the same or following conventional business wisdom. They come from questioning assumptions, updating mental habits, and daring to notice opportunities where others see obstacles. The first step is training your mind to see challenges not as threats, but as invitations to grow and create value. Problems are signals, not setbacks. Ambitious goals naturally bring bigger problems, a sign that you're stretching beyond comfort and toward impact. Each challenge carries the potential for progress and innovation within your industry. So instead of avoiding complexity, lean into it. Ask how your current obstacles can be transformed into tomorrow's advantages. Every time you turn setbacks into opportunities, you hone your ability to navigate uncertainty and move closer to meaningful breakthroughs. Simultaneously, this mindset requires you to accept reality with clarity. Pretending the world, or even just your industry, works differently than it does, leads you and your team to make poor decisions and waste your finite energy. Recognizing randomness and the unexpected allows your mind to stay sharp and think strategically. The same applies to yourself. Owning your limits quiets your ego, freeing up mental bandwidth for you to act decisively, take calculated risks, and embrace challenges with less hesitation or fear of failure. You'll also need to constantly think bigger than you might feel capable of achieving. Modest goals rarely get billion-dollar outcomes. Committing to stretching beyond current limits reveals strengths and capabilities you didn't know you or your team had. Define what success looks like in vivid detail. Focus relentlessly on your highest priority ambitions and unapologetically ignore distractions that dilute effort. Vision provides direction, audacity supplies momentum, and consistent action converts possibility into reality. Finally, as your ambitions grow, you'll also need a healthy dose of humility to keep you grounded. Recognize that no one holds all the answers, no matter how far up the corporate food chain they rise. Stay teachable, listen actively, and keep learning, because adaptability is the key to surviving and thriving in our increasingly complex world. By welcoming challenges, accepting reality as it is, dreaming boldly, and staying curious, you cultivate a mental operating system capable of compounding success. This mindset allows you to shape circumstances rather than merely respond to them, turning ambition into a powerful, self-reinforcing force. Rewiring your mindset is powerful, but sharp thinking alone won't achieve billion-dollar results if it's aimed at the wrong target. Momentum matters. The biggest wins happen when bold thinking aligns with long-term trends that are already reshaping your industry and the broader business landscape. Success doesn't come from predicting the future perfectly. It comes from positioning yourself so that when the sands of change arrive, you're already standing in the right place. The first step is identifying which currents truly matter. Every industry is a dynamic ecosystem, constantly shifting and evolving. Ask big, time-bound questions. Where will this market move in 5 or 10 years? Which forces are accelerating, which are fading, and where are the hidden opportunities? Anchoring your strategy to these major trends allows you to make decisions with greater confidence, even when execution isn't flawless. The right trend can carry your efforts further than sheer hard work ever could. Second, recognize that technology now sits at the center of nearly every winning business playbook. It isn't just a tool, but a force that drives transformation and creates opportunities for those who understand its potential. Artificial intelligence, in particular, is advancing at a pace that will redefine industries in ways most people can't fully anticipate. The question isn't whether technology will play a role in your sector. The question is, how ready are you to integrate and leverage it before it's too late? Here, deep research and expert insight are essential. General knowledge will no longer cut it. Learn the mechanics of your industry, compile a few incisive questions, and engage with the smartest people you can find. Often the challenge today isn't access to information. It's interpreting the implications of trends that are so transformative they're difficult for non-experts to grasp. The clearer your understanding, the bolder and more accurate your decisions can become. And third, adaptability is critical. Trends accelerate, stall, and sometimes flip entirely. Opportunities in the 21st century can emerge or vanish in months, not years, especially in technology-driven industries. As was advocated in the previous section, cultivate a mindset that embraces change rather than fears it. Then pair this with strategies that can bend without breaking and treat disruption as a source of leverage rather than a threat. By aligning bold thinking with the right trends, you stop swimming against the current and start letting the market's momentum carry you forward. Spotting and riding these forces multiplies the impact of your decisions, creating opportunities to achieve results far beyond what effort or expenditure could ever produce. Great ideas and the right trends can carry you far, but only if you have the right people in the right places to bring them to life. No billion-dollar vision becomes reality without a team that can turn the abstract into action and pressure into performance. Building a high-performing team goes beyond simply filling roles. It's about assembling a group that thrives on challenges, tackles problems most organizations would shy away from, and still manages to enjoy the ride along the way. Start by hiring for intelligence. In fast-moving industries, you must have people who can think several moves ahead, absorb complexity, and make smart decisions under high stakes. As controversial as this may sound, exceptional intellect isn't a nice-to-have, it's a need-to-have. Screening for talent with superior problem-solving ability ensures that when obstacles arise, as they inevitably will, your team has the mental horsepower to navigate them efficiently and creatively. Next, look for hunger. Ambitious goals demand energy, resilience, and an intrinsic drive to succeed. The best team members don't just show up, they thrive when the pressure's on, persist through setbacks, and stay committed even when challenges seem insurmountable. Hunger fuels momentum, and a team full of motivated, determined people can accomplish far more than the most impressive strategy on paper. Third is integrity. Hiring for integrity is non-negotiable. Even having one person who cuts corners or acts unscrupulously can erode trust, slow progress, and destabilize a workplace culture. Screening for responsibility, honesty, and accountability protects not only the company, but also the collective focus and ethos of the team. Collegiality rounds out the hiring formula. Ambition paired with toxicity eventually collapses under its own heavy weight. Teams that are cooperative, generous, and supportive create environments where ideas can flow, risk-taking is encouraged, and progress naturally compounds without the distractions of constant conflict or competition. And of course, compensation matters. If your goal is extraordinary growth, you simply must invest in extraordinary talent. Regularly reassess your base salary and incentive offerings, aligning with industry standards and within company performance. Talented people know their worth, and tangibly showing that you value them keeps their eyes on the ball, rather than wandering over to greener pastures elsewhere. In sum, talent invariably multiplies impact. Having the right people in the right places turns your audacity into activity, converts opportunity into revenue and transforms your company's vision into a shared galvanizing mission. Finally, billion-dollar results often require more than organic growth, and one of the fastest ways to scale is through strategic mergers and acquisitions, or M&A. Done thoughtfully, M&A can accelerate growth, add capabilities, and amplify momentum. Done poorly, it can erode value and morale quicker than almost anything else. The key is learning to buy the right companies, integrate them smoothly, and know when walking away is the smartest choice. The first principle is alignment. Every acquisition should serve your broader strategy. Look for opportunities that strengthen your market position, fill gaps in capabilities, excite customers, or deliver superior returns on capital. The goal isn't to simply get bigger, it's to get better. Before negotiations begin, define your non-negotiables, such as price or critical terms, and then allow your team to be flexible on the rest. This will keep your talks efficient and productive while protecting the core value of the deal. The second principle behind M&A is frequently overlooked: culture. Buying a company with an incompatible culture is like mixing oil and water. It rarely blends or ends well. But remember to seek compatibility, not necessarily sameness. Then, from the moment integration begins, avoid arrogance and heavy-handed approaches. Treat incoming employees as partners, respect their expertise, and allow cultural adaptation to unfold organically while being clear on the overarching direction. Smooth cultural integration is just as critical as operational alignment in creating lasting value. Of course, speed and precision matter in successful M&A too. The best acquirers move fast enough to win competitive deals, but remain disciplined enough to avoid costly mistakes. Running multiple conversations simultaneously reduces unnecessary pressure on you and your team and ensures no single opportunity feels like the only path forward. In the high-risk, high-reward world of M&A, the most consequential deals are the deals you don't do. Lastly, the full finalized integration process is where M&A becomes make or break. A detailed mergers and acquisitions playbook should address both cultural and operational blending. Bring new teams into your technology systems early, unify branding, and align everyone around shared goals. Move efficiently, but also with empathy. Ultimately, the human side of integration is more important than the technical side. High-quality M&A, executed repeatedly and carefully, compounds growth in ways organic expansion rarely can. However, remember that each acquisition should explicitly serve the purpose of deepening capabilities, strengthening culture, and reinforcing company strategy. When done right, buying becomes a force multiplier and your calling card for billion-dollar results.